Thank you so much for joining me today. I have with me two of Guerlain's holiday collection items. This is the Goldenland collection for holiday 2019. So I purchased the Meteorites, which are the light revealing pearls of powder, and they come in this box. Here are the ingredients. They are a little hard to read, but they're actually a little bit bigger than they are on the eyeshadow palette box. So we'll see in a second. That one's much more challenging to read. So the Meteorites come in a shiny black round canister with the gold top. And then inside we've got the pearls, and you can actually see the pearl. You can actually see here, get that in there, pick it out. We've got some more reddish pearls, and then there are some goldy bronze pearls. We've got white and like a light gold. Okay, and this is a limited edition Meteorites set. Actually, all of these items in the collection are limited edition. I know that there are also 3 lipsticks that I do not have. So I want to say they're number 94, 95, 96. One of them is a matte. Then there's like a light nudish gold color that's a metallic. And then there is, I think it's a satin kind of like a rosy color. So I'm interested in seeing those. I haven't seen those out yet, but I was able to get these. My favorite thing from the collection, and the thing that I've really been looking forward to, is the eyeshadow palette, which came in this box. And on the back, it shows you the colors. And I'll just give you a close-up here. You can see the ingredients. And they're a little bit hard to read. It's kind of a dark gold color that they wrote with, and it's a little hard to tell on the black background. So the palette comes in a gold case, a gold metal palette case, and then inside you've got the mirror, and then you have the eyeshadow palette. So these are the 10 colors, and we're going to swatch these in a second. I'm going to go left to right, which for me, when I put this down and look at it, we're going to be going this way, which coincides with numbers 1 through 10 on the package. So in the palette, again, there's a mirror, and then there is a dual sponge tip applicator, and then there's also a dual-sided brush. It's pretty thin. You can see that it's a thin brush. One side has a rounded, kind of like a rounded flat tip, and then the other side has the angle, more of a smudger type brush. And these definitely feel very, not very pliable. So I actually usually don't use the brushes in the palettes, but they're there if you need them. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna start with number 1, which again is gonna be this brown color. All right, so go. So it's kind of more of a matte brown, kind of like a medium tone brown. Definitely feels creamy going on. Did get a little bit of speckles here coming off, but if you look at the actual palette where I swatched it, there was no kick up on there. All right, and then the next one is this red color, which looks kind of like a light wine color in the palette, but on my arm you can see that it's got a lot more of a rusty bronzy tone to it, where it's actually fading out here. You can definitely see that there's some orange in there. So this actually looks much more like rust to me. Okay, and then the next one is the green. I love green shadows, and this is a really nice moss green. Let's just put a little bit more on there. I really like that color. And this is a matte shade. Okay, and then we have a light gold. And this is a shimmer. It is a light gold. Can you see it sparkle in there? That looks really nice. And then number 5 is another brown. This is more reddish than this one is up here. I'll actually swipe from the other side. Compare the darkness. So this brown is definitely more red, but they are in the same, I'd say the same tone level. So they're both kind of a medium brown, but one is definitely more cool, and this number 5 is definitely going to be a bit of a warmer redder brown. All right, so I'm going to switch arms for the next 5. Just clean off my fingers a little. All right, so now we're going to be going in here. So we're going from this gold to that gold, and then down, finishing with the white. All right, so number 6 is another gold. And let's just compare those. Sorry, that's kind of awkward. This is definitely much more yellow. And you can see it's also shimmery. I think it's actually, they're both rather sheer. I think this one gives a really nice shimmer. I like both of them. They are pretty similar, but this one is a little bit darker. The next one in the pan, it looks like a matte black. So let's see if that comes out. Yep, it's a matte black. And again, I had a little bit of fallout there. We'll have to see how that applies on the eyes. But that looks like it could create a nice smoky effect. It seems to blend really well. So we'll see how that works on the eyes. And now, when I was holding this up, it actually looked pretty gold in the camera monitor, but it actually looks like a gold khaki color. So kind of like a khaki green or mixed with some gold. So I really like this color a lot. That is definitely something that works well for me with my brown eyes. Okay, and now we have kind of like a matte fawn type color. I didn't get very much up on my finger. 1 second. This one is really light. Sorry, I had a little black pigment apparently that fell down my arm. But you can see right there, it's light. It kind of blends in with my skin a bit. Go a little bit higher there. So that's going to be like a nice base color or a crease color for me. And the last color is more of a white. This is a great, wow, I really like this for inner corner or arch highlight, but that's a nice iridescent white shimmer. So I like that one. Okay, all of the shadows felt really creamy to apply. I feel like the mattes were a little bit drier feeling than the ones with the shimmer. Particularly the black one. We'll have to be careful with that when applying that. I feel like that one could really make a mess, but we'll test that out and see how that goes. Okay, so let me go wash up and then we can play with the colors on my eyes. Okay, I'm back. And before we swatch the shadows, I forgot we should actually take a look at these pearls a little bit closer. I'm just going to kind of run my finger over them and spread those on my hand just so you can kind of see the type of shimmers. This is definitely going to be a bronzy gold look to it. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being a little bit too dark for my skin or not, but I just thought it looked really pretty. And I actually don't have any of the pearls yet, so I wanted to try these. When I was younger, like middle school, high school age, my friends and I used to go to the mall and look at makeup all the time at the department stores, and the Meteorites pearls were always something that I wanted to have. They always looked really nice and expensive, but for some reason I've just never purchased them. So now that the Sephora sale's going on, I took advantage. I purchased these from Sephora. Also the eyeshadow palette was from Sephora. And I also got some of the regular Meteorites in the light color. So I'll be testing those out. For some reason, my local stores, I haven't found the Guerlain collection at all in the stores yet. but it should be out anytime now. So I believe it's already out at Saks and Neiman Marcus at certain locations, but I haven't found it yet. So let's go through, and I think I'm obviously not going to use all of these eye colors. I want to focus more on the golds and greens. Those are going to be my favorites. So let's go through, and I think I'm going to actually start with doing just a little bit of the crease in this light fawn color down at the bottom, which is number 9. So I'm using my Sonia G Crease Pro Brush, and when I dab it into the shadow, I have to say I barely touched it. I got a ton of shadow up, so there's definitely no problem with that, and there's really no kick up in the pan. All right, I'm just gonna go in, do a little bit to my crease here, and a little bit above the crease. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess on that. And then I'm going to go in with shade number 1, which is up here, this medium brown. I'm just going to add a little bit more to the crease. And this time I'm only going to put the shadow on the tip of my brush. And I definitely got a ton up, so I'm actually going to tap off a little bit of the excess there. And just going to put that in there. So I'm just trying to give it a little bit more dimension here. Just blend those two colors together. There we go. All right, and next I'm going to go in, I think let's try, well actually let's just start with the matte green number 3. We'll start with that and then we'll play with that afterwards. So I'm gonna go in with actually going to use this Wayne Goss number 6 brush, and I'm actually just going to go kind of down and do horizontally down here. And so you can see it's kind of pigmented, and now I'm just kind of going in the V a little bit up into the crease. So again, these seem very pigmented. I'm impressed. I've heard that Guerlain shadows haven't been very good in the last few years, and I have a really old palette from, gosh, let's see here, it was before my kids were born, so it was probably close to 10 years ago, and it's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. They don't make it anymore, and honestly, I haven't seen too much from them with eyeshadow, but hopefully that'll change. So far, let's see here, it's a bit sheer. You can kind of see a little bit of my eye veining through that. So let's just add a little bit more here, just along the base. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with the color right next to it, number 4, this kind of gold champagne color. And I'm going to go into the inner portion and kind of all the way onto the first half of my inner corner of the eye. I'm going to kind of tap it over the green edges to kind of blend that in a little bit. And this, I'm going to use the Sonia G Worker Pro. Again, just so much comes up. So I'm going to start by just kind of tapping it in here. And just kind of going over those green edges. I did cover the green at the really inner corner, and now just up here, I'm just tapping that a little bit. So I think I'm good with that one. And now I just want to try this rusty red color a little bit. So that was number 2 right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit on this on the outer V. So I'm using the Sonia G pencil 2 brush for this. I don't want very much. So I'm just going to go in and just tap a little bit on here. I like the color. I made a little bit of a mass application there. So I think I'm going to go in and blend that a bit. I do like that color a lot. So I think that goes very nicely with the green. And I think I'm just gonna kind of blend a little bit with, well, I'd like to use more, I would love to, but I think that's actually enough eyeshadow colors. I'm just gonna go in my inner corner with shade number 10, the iridescent white, and then we'll go through and blend everything. So I'm actually gonna use the Smudger 1 brush from Sonia G. I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit here. And a little bit under the lower lashes. Just right by the corner. Okay, makes it a nice brightening look there. All right, so now I'm gonna go back in with the Sonia G Crease Pro brush that I used with the original colors and just kind of wiping that off, anything excess. And I'm just gonna kind of blend out these edges a little bit. Just going to diffuse all of that in the crease area. Just both sides. Now I don't typically wear a ton of colors up on my brow bones. I feel like my eyes are slightly deep set, so I don't really like having too much there. I feel like it accentuates, how deep my eyes actually are. So I usually don't go past this point here where I've gone. I very rarely go all the way up on the brow bone. But I think today, let's just try. We'll go back with that Smudger 1 brush with the white color, number 10. Just going to put a tiny little bit of sparkle here. Just see if it does anything. I'm just going to kind of blend it a little. Honestly, I'm not sure if that does much for me. Looks great on other people though. Okay. I guess it does give a little lift to the arch. All right, so I think that's it for applying things on the lid. Now for underneath the eye, I was gonna go in with the red, but I think I'm actually gonna go in with number 8, this khaki gold color. And I'm gonna actually gonna use that Smudger 1 brush again. I'm just gonna wipe off any of the white powder that's left. And I'm just gonna line my under eyes with this. I like the little sparkle, how it catches the light. But this is definitely not too heavy of a look for daytime. I like that a lot. Okay, so I think that's great for the lower lash line, but I'm gonna go in with that pencil 2 brush that I used the red on. I'm just gonna smudge a little bit on the upper lash line. So I'm just adding a little bit to the tip. I'm just gonna go in here. So I started from the middle and I kind of worked my way out, and then had a lighter application closer to the inner part of my eye. And I'm just a little wary of reds near the inner corner of my eye because my eyes are super sensitive. So when I get things too close, they turn red anyway, and I feel like having red so close to the inner corner where I already have some, you can see like my veins and so forth, and I've got some red lines and stuff in there. I just feel like it accentuates it. So I usually don't do too much red on my eyes, but I'm liking this. So let me finish this up. I'm going to put on some mascara, and then I will test out the Meteorites. So I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, I'm back, and I forgot to actually check when we were applying that for any fallout. And you can see there might be like a couple little flecks here. Kind of just go away with my finger. But there was absolutely no fallout whatsoever on this eye. And honestly, the mascara I'm using Guerlain, what's it called? Sea d'Enfer. And this is an old tube. It's starting to dry out. So I'm not even sure whether the flakes were from the eyeshadow or from the mascara here. But it was just a couple. And again, nothing on my left eye. So we're just going to finish up by applying the Meteorites. I added mascara, and then I added a lip product. I just used the Tom Ford lip balm from the holiday collection in Bay Diva, which is number 5. It looks like this. So it's a lip balm instead of a lipstick, so it's very, a little bit more of a different feel, lighter feel to it. All right, so let's just go in and just going to use... I think I'm going to go in with my Sonia G Master Face Brush. Again, this is my favorite brush. I really wanted to go and get another one. They were sold out. They're not coming back until 2020. So I'm just swirling it a little bit around in here. Let's just do a light application here. So I think this ended up giving me a rosy glow. When I first put it on this cheek, I could definitely see some of the pigment. I was originally planning on just doing the cheek area, but I wanted to make sure I diffuse that because I think it's a little bit dark for me to concentrate it. But when I kind of blend that out, I think it just gives me a nice rosy glow, which will be really nice for the winter days when your complexion gets kind of dull and drab, especially if you're not feeling well. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to get colds all the time during the winter, especially now that my kids have started school and they're bringing home all these wonderful new germs. So, but I'm actually surprised how much I like these Meteorites. I was really nervous that they weren't going to work for me. So I have to look at the pricing. I can put that down in the description box. But I want to say that the palette is $80 and the Meteorites are $65. And again, there are some lipsticks in the collection. I want to say that each lipstick is $33, and that's just the actual, insert the actual lipstick, because Guerlain does those refillable Rouge G containers. So there are 3 different ones of those. I think they're $33 each. I think the cases are $22 each, and they came out with 3 new colors for the collection, and they have, there's a red, a black, and a gold, and they have a very nice look to them. I'll have to post a picture, but they look very nice. I'm pretty sure those are limited edition as well. So if you are interested in purchasing those cases, you might want to do it, whether you pick the lipstick colors or not. Hi, I just wanted to give you an update on how well the Guerlain Goldenland collection held up over the day. So it's nighttime, I'm in my pajamas already, starting to get ready for bed, but I haven't taken off my makeup yet. I just wanted to show you how well everything has held up. And I feel like the Meteorites has left a beautiful rosy glow to my skin, and everything looks fantastic. I feel like, my skin looks pretty flawless for the end of the day. Just to give you an idea of what I've been doing. For dinner tonight, I decided to make lots of freezer foods. So I am in the process of filling up my freezer for, days when we've got babysitters or I don't really feel like cooking. So today's chore was making a ton of chicken nuggets. So I took out the deep fryer and made a bunch of chicken nuggets. I spent over an hour over the deep fryer with all of that steam and oil and everything wafting into my face. And you can see, the makeup still looks great. So I think that's partly due to the foundation, which I've always had really good results with. And the foundation today that I used was the Surratt Dewdrop foundation. But I think a lot of it is just this finish from the Meteorites. I think by the end of the day, after doing something like frying food, I typically have a lot more settling and so forth, regardless of what foundation I wear. And I think, this one, I just have more of this natural rosy glow to my skin. And I really, really like that. Also, the eyeshadow, you can see it hasn't really creased. Don't really have any fallout or anything, no smudging under my eyes. It hasn't really transferred. And again, I think that is fantastic. So this is one of the reasons why I prefer a lot of luxury brands for makeup, because I find that they just stay put better and it ends up being a better investment for me. So again, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed and you are interested, please do so. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, please leave them in the comments field below. And I can't wait to see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a good night.